2K TV, I'm back. It's your boy K Mars. I'm reporting on this LeBron James free agency frenzy. Entering year 24, LeBron finds himself again at the topic of conversation. That's crazy, man. He's going to be 42 years old in December of this year, and it was reported less than a couple days ago that 27 teams have reached out to his agent, Rich Paul. He has now narrowed down his list of desired teams to 6 teams, and those teams are Minnesota, Denver, Philly, Golden State, Cleveland, and Miami. Yes. So it's also been reported as I'm recording this, sources are leaning towards that Cleveland is all but a done deal. They have reportedly put a 2-year, $30 million offer on the table, and the ball is in LeBron's court. He's expected to make a decision within the next few days. It could be as early as tomorrow, but we shall see. I think basketball-wise, the best fit is Minnesota or Philly. I think they are absolutely just a power forward away from contending in either conference. Starting with Minnesota, Rich Paul famously put them on his whiteboard of teams that LeBron was looking at, and a few teams that were on that board aren't in his list of 6. But yeah, I think early on in this process, everybody was expecting him to, unite with Steph and Golden State. But just looking at their roster, with Jimmy Butler being hurt and Porzingis possibly on the move, they didn't really make a big push trying to get Anthony Davis as requested. So it doesn't really seem like that's a top priority at this point, but we shall see. I mean, they're still on the list of 6, so, anything could happen. But like I said, Minnesota and Philly seem like the best basketball fit. Philly, they got Maxey, they got Edgecombe, they just picked up Jaylen Brown, and that takes a lot of the load off of Joel Embiid, which could possibly at least have him healthy for the playoffs, with LeBron James especially being added to that mix. It is said that LeBron is looking for a situation with at least 2 scorers to take the load off of him, and a situation where he could plug and play and play make and be that third scorer. Not necessarily the third option, but, just a third scorer added to that team. Yeah, Golden State is interesting. Denver making this top 6 list is interesting, even though I don't think he'll end up there. There hasn't really been too much chatter about him going to Denver other than the high IQ situation with him and Jokic. Obviously, Jokic and Jamal Murray are already a dynamic duo. They won a title before with Michael Porter at that 3 spot. I could only imagine LeBron James sliding in there. But playing at that high altitude for the next 2 seasons, it is LeBron, but I don't think that would be ideal. Like I said, Miami, they obviously made a big trade getting Giannis Antetokounmpo. They added Tim Hardaway Jr., a shooter, but I think they need a few more if they're going to contend with or without LeBron this year. But that would be interesting. He played in Miami before, obviously, and this is a different makeup of team, but that would be a hell of a front court, LeBron, Giannis, and Bam. So all of these teams are interesting, but I think if it's not Cleveland like reported, then I think it probably would be Minnesota or Philly, just from a basketball standpoint, being able to compete. I do expect him to play the next 2 seasons. It doesn't seem like this is a farewell tour that he's setting up. I think he's looking for a chance to compete and possibly win 1 more title, if not 2, depending on which situation he walks into. Like I said, I believe Cleveland has put out an offer of 2 years for $30 million. His longtime childhood friend Brandon Weems is the assistant GM there in Cleveland. Obviously, the relationship with him and the Cavs doesn't have to be explained, so that would make sense, you know, if he did choose to make a third stop in Cleveland to end it. It is said that he would this decision will be his last stop, and he'll look to end his career on a high note. Um, so yeah, we shall see. Within the next few days, LeBron could be making a decision, maybe as early as tomorrow. You know, if he does choose a team, I'll be making another video on that, obviously. But yeah, man, LeBron, almost 42 years old, the topic of conversation. And this has been a huge offseason already, only almost a weekend to the offseason free agency. And, you know, LeBron shifts the narrative after all of the bigger moves have been made, you know, LaMelo to the Wolves, Ja to Portland, Jaylen Brown to Philly, who he could end up being teammates with, you know. So we'll see what LeBron does. You know, he's always got a trick up his sleeve, but as I've heard pretty much all day today, it's looking like Cleveland is a done deal. It feels similar to the situation when he chose Miami that whole day and days leading up to. All the reports were saying Miami, even though some people were still in denial. That feels like it could be the situation here with comfortability, familiarity, and a chance to contend here in Cleveland, Ohio could be on the table. So yeah, we'll see. 2K TV, your boy K Mars.